Hey kids, I hope that you can hear me. I can see that there's no one with me yet, and I don't even know if I'm connected or not, which is awesome. And I'm certain that the audio quality probably really sucks because it did last time that I did it this way. Uh, so I had mentioned my last appearance that I had not gone in my studio uh, for all these many months, and so as promised, I said I was going to come back and start streaming again. So, although I've put it off as long as I dare, I did promise Dad that I'd resume, and I couldn't put that off anymore. So I went in finally this weekend, well, earlier today, to the studio, moved some things around. There was quite a mess, and moved some things around. Um, and first thing was to just kind of reset everything, and I went to turn on the computer, and lo and behold, it would not launch, which was obviously a disappointment. However, it may be as simple as just a power switch. I don't know. There does, obviously, it could be the power supply. I didn't even go in there. I didn't turn it off. I didn't do anything. So who knows? Could be the power supply just failed over time. However, there's still some signs of life. There's some LEDs on the motherboard, as well as peripherals. So it's obviously doing some 5 volt somewhere. I don't know about the wattage though. There just may not be enough wattage to launch it. Don't know. Did have a power strike at one point some months ago that um, I did notice one of the keyboards was kind of flickering, and so I was kind of worried. I rebooted it. It seemed to launch fine, and then I just turned it off. I just turned everything off. So until I take I was going to take the desktop, the tower into the shop tomorrow and have a look at it. Again, it may be as simple as just the power switch. So well, I don't know. I'll have to look, and if it's not, then I'll look at the power supply. And if it's not that, then motherboard, and then we just kind of go down the list from there. So that was disappointing. So obviously, I won't be able to do the kind of streaming that I'd like until that's addressed. Hopefully, that's a quick fix, and we can just get back to it. And again, so I recognize that the audio quality is going to really suck as it did last time. Just using the little AirPods into the iPad, but I did promise Pops that I would be here today, so I am here. Uh, as is, it looks like one person. So hey, good to see you. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So I'll try not to belabor the point, and I told Mama I wouldn't be gone too long. So I'm just at a little park here, but I wanted just to address some things. Just like obviously, as I mentioned last time, just I was rather enjoying the peace and quiet. No need for drama. Um, just really uh, taking some time for some respite, try to get healthy, and to some degree that's been helpful in that I'm, the amplitude of the sickness is less intense. And frequency seems to be somewhat less, although, as I was discussing with Madeline this weekend or yesterday, in part, I know better how to manage it, so that may, be related to it. But anyway, a lot of different tests and new things going on, just to try to put a nail in it and either figure out what it is, and then the other part, of course, is location. That's a bigger conversation of getting out of here, but that's in progress, right? So hopefully I'll have more to talk about on that as we want to do something there. But in the interim, I think it's just appropriate just to say, hey, as promised, I'll be back, and mostly I think at this point just sharing with you guys some stuff that I stumbled across in my time with Dad in this intervening period. Just things I feel are appropriate to the time. Certainly we see um, a lot of things around us that are concerning, a lot of questions going on. And, again, I don't know that I have the answers other than I know who does. And so if that's helpful to point you in the direction of who does have answers to the degree that he's willing to share with us, then, I think that's a good thing. I think also I want to mention to the degree that I suppose I should just check and make sure that people can hear me. I don't see Let's see here if I can look at their live chat. So I want to see. Can you guys hear me? I guess I should let you know that you hear me. Um, but- so let me know that that's all good. But also, I did want to point out to the degree that, you know, on the topics of, scripture and things like that, there's always people who want to come in and present an opposing view. And at this point, I mean, I've always sort of been open to just a collegial discussion and sharing views, and I'm open to other people sharing with their views and that sort of stuff. But at this point, I think at this juncture, um, I think the season for that, for me, has passed. Right? I don't think anybody is going to be, convinced that's not looking for it. Certainly, I'm not going to be convinced of a different point of view, since I have a relationship, not a belief system that can be altered or changed or shaken. Um, again, it's a relationship that I have, and so you would be very unlikely to um, undo that. Uh, anyway, if that's a conversation you want to have, then I just simply suggest that, politely, that you look for someone who's willing to have that conversation, because I no longer am. Again, it's not trying to be a jerk. Um, I want to focus on people who are thirsty, who have questions, who are already, you know, uh, basically, I'm looking for the relationships of people who we were walking together toward God, right? And that's where I feel most effective right now, I think, is encouraging people who are um, right there, right, who need the encouragement to keep walking. And so, to that end, I'm here, and I will not, and I did not mean to in any way abandon you, or um, run away. Just had some things to address, and I think that's for the benefit of everyone. And I think that I've gained some insight and perspective that's probably helpful, or at least I hope that it is. Um, to the degree that I can effectively share it, and to the degree that you can receive it, and that it's well led by the Spirit and all that sort of stuff, and I think it'll be of value. So let's see what else. Mostly that I just really miss you guys, and um, the emails and calls, messages that I've received in the intervening period, certainly since in the intervening months, but just in the last couple of weeks, or last few weeks, since early July, when I last went live. So encouraging, and so thoughtful, and so kind. Sorry, there's aircraft. It's actually very cool. Um, I wish I could kind of point you to it. It's a canard type aircraft, so it's got the sort of like what you would consider the tail, the ailerons in the front of the plane, it's in the rear, and it's a rear prop pusher experimental plane. It was actually flying fairly low, very nice. Anyway, um, so yeah, I miss you guys so much, and the messages that you left were so kind and so thoughtful, and I'm so grateful for the relationships that I've developed, and you've profoundly, impacted my life for the positive, and I'm so grateful to each of you for that. And from again here forward, I'd just like to, um, again, from my perspective, I'm going to spend some time the next, again, first, I guess it's redoing the studio and trying to get that put back together into some semblance of something that works, so that we can spend some quality time together, maybe get some doodles in again. That'd be fun. I haven't even touched any instrument since I stopped, since that day everything sort of started breaking, right? My mixer kind of messed up, and it's like all these new components were suddenly not working. Everything was like not working. Man, my heart sank, and I was just so discouraged. But anyway, so I got to get that going. Hopefully, just a week or so to hopefully clear that up, and then we'll start again in earnest. And I want to just spend time going through some of the things that I found, and unsurprisingly, I think that you'll find that much of the stuff that I've stumbled into, or I think that's relevant, um, comes from the more, apocryphal, eschatological, eschatological sort of things. Daniel, Revelation, Joel, Amos, some of the minor prophets. Um, Shedding some interesting light, I think, on where we are. And, I think a lot of people, again, have made a lot of claims throughout the years, obviously. Um, I'm not going to really make any claims other than to say, hey, is this interesting? Right? Looks like these things might go together. Um, so we'll explore that together, and I think ideally just, again, grow the relationship a bit more, and we'll see what comes of it in the coming weeks and months. So with that, again, I won't belabor the point other than to just check in and say I love you guys. I know that, but I know that there's a lot of us who are really struggling and going through stuff, but be of good cheer, right? The problems won't go away, but uh, there's reason for us to continue to have hope and continue to move forward with conviction. So anyway, love you guys. I hope you are doing well, each and every one of you. I'll check back to the chat log uh, because I haven't really had an opportunity to kind of look at it. Just enjoying this afternoon here. And yes, I am a real boy. Hi, kids. It's me. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great time, and I will see all of you real soon. Be well. Oh dear, now I'm gonna have to start pushing buttons and doing all this sort of stuff, and I'll look like a boomer. Um, hey, David, good to see you. All right, guys, so we'll put this up here and show you guys this, and then I guess it's time for me to do this and say hasta la vista, baby. Great to see you guys.